All right, today we're going to work with double exposure. We're going to be using a lot of the tools you guys are already familiar with. We're just going to use them in a different way. So your image should look something like this when it's done. I'm going to turn off the type. You guys are going to do the type on your own. I will help you if you need it. But I want to get you through the major part of this. So I'm going to just deconstruct what we got going here. And you can see what's going on from the very beginning. All right, so I provided you with two images. One is called wolf, one is called forest. So as always, when you bring in your wolf, open wolf and make a copy of your background, just so you have a copy. And we're going to turn off this background. So once we have this wolf, we're going to go over here to our tools and we're going to select the quick selection tool. So that is right here. Okay, so W will select the quick selection tool. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. Before we were using a magic wand or a magnetic lasso to outline our image, but because this has a pretty dark background, we can go up to select subject. And there you go. It's selected it for you. It's done a pretty good job. Good enough. So once we have that, and we have the bottom layer of the wolf turned off, we're going to go to our mask layers down here on the bottom, add a layer mask. It's going to go to the wolf copy. So here we go. We're all familiar with that. And so it has masked the background for us. Turn that back off so you can see. So now we're going to do something new. We're going to create an adjustment layer, and it's going to be a solid color. So here I have selected a solid color, and it comes up with this menu, and I want to find kind of a blue, an icy blue, something that says wintertime. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So now we have our color fill layer, wolf copy, and wolf. I'm going to take this color fill layer and I'm going to drop it below the mask. So that gives us this nice blue background that we're going to work with when we start to put in the double exposure. So once you have that completed, we're going to open up the forest image. You're going to copy it, which is Command C as in cat. We're going to go back to our wolf and we're going to paste, which is Command V as in Victor, or go up to your menu and go Edit, Paste. And we want our forest to be on top of the wolf. So using our transform tool, I'm going to move this over first. Command T as in Tom, or as in transform. We'll make that a selection and we can make it cover the wolf. If you want to see where it's moving on the wolf for your next project, drop the opacity back a little bit and you can move this around. And actually, once it's completed, you can also move it around. So let's remember to name our layers. We're going to call this forest. And on the forest layer, we're going to create another mask. So we have our mask, make sure we've selected, and just like we've been doing in the previous assignments, we're going to brush away the background. So we're going to pick our brush tool, which is B, as a keystroke. And I'm just going to start brushing away. And I've got my opacity here. I'm going to move this opacity up. I want you guys to experiment with this. Opacity at 100% let's go to 100%, will be a much heavier eraser. Well, there's the ear starting to show up. And I kind of want to save some of this forest background. So I'm just going to click around here. And when we get near the wolf, I'm going to soften up our brush. And we don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to drop back on my brush. Go back to this opacity tool because I want to kind of gently reveal the wolf. So I go there, flows 89%. That looks pretty good. And I think you guys get the gist of what's happening here. I'm just going to go through this so you can see. Take your time with it. Reveal the wolf as you see fit to make it look how you want. Rid of some of this background out here. But I do like the background mixing in with the wolf. I think it gives a good effect. Let's get that eye and then cover it. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now you can really see how this kind of double exposure is working. So I've got the outside. I'm going to drop my opacity on my brush a little bit to get inside this wolf a little gentler, if that's the right word, because I like the hair on the wolf and I want it to see, or want to make it look like it is in the snow. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's the crux of the assignment. Then I want you to add the text. That is the scientific name for the wolf, Canis lupus. And I'll provide you with this text, but I want you to put it in. Remember our font pairing back from when we were working probably with Google Draw, right? So I've got a serif font. The wolves are legendary because of their spine-tingling howl. And then the Canis lupus sans serif. So that's basically what we're going to do. And when we're done with this, I want you to pick out an animal and create a similar illustration with the animal's scientific name and a little blurb about the animal. And that is our project. Ask me if you have questions. There will be a PDF that will go along with this.